you have done well to have advanced this stage of the competition at the semi-final. And I'm just going to lay the ground rules while we um, wait a bit for Amarachi to join the meeting. So, just like the last time we met, there were certain rules governing the conduct of the competition. So, the first rule is that ensure you have stable internet connection. So, we don't want a situation where we have to repeat something twice or multiple times because you're not getting it. So, try as much as possible to ensure that your internet connection is stable. Of course, we know the Nigerian factor. Sometimes, despite the fact that you tried your best to, make everything work out, some things can still, So in such situations, we'll be magnanimous enough to give you some consideration, but it will be on a very, very strict terms, right? Then the second rule is that whenever you're called upon, endeavor to turn on your camera and equally put on your audio. However, if your background is noisy, you can mute yourself, and by the time the options are read and you want to answer, you can then unmute yourself. Mind you, you have to be careful with that because if you are saying something and for one reason or the other you're muted and then the time elapses, you will not be allowed to, you know, provide another answer. So make sure your environment is not noisy so that you can put on your audio and then state your response to the question. Then the third rule is that you're only allowed 5 seconds to provide your answer. So the moment the last option is read, your answer should follow within the 5 seconds. That means that if your response does not come within the 5 seconds, it will be automatically deemed to be wrong, even if the option you've chosen is correct. Then also ensure that you are audible when you are stating your option. We don't want something like the, and then we are like, are you saying A or are you saying B? No, nobody is going to reiterate the option again. It is from your mouth that will get whether you got it right or not. And then finally, please, the questions that some of the questions we have this time around are a bit lengthy. So that means you have to pay attention, right? You have to pay attention. And this also goes back to first rule, which is we will not generally repeat questions unless the circumstances so demand. So we'll give you about 2 to 3 minutes to put yourself together before we start. So that means by 12:42, the first person on the list will be called upon.
So much.
All right, guys. So the first person on our list is Ajita Suleiman. Kindly turn on your camera and also unmute your mic. All right, so welcome. You have um, 50 questions to choose from. That's 1 to 50.
Okay. Number 6.
Number 6. All right. So question 6 says that, can you hear me, Ajita?
Yes, I can
Okay,
hear you,
great.
sir.
All right. So the question is, two states have a bilateral investment treaty. State A expropriated the assets of a corporation owned by nationals of State B without compensation. State B's nationals claim this action violates their human rights. Which forum is most appropriate and which legal standard would apply? A. The Human Rights Committee, applying the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights on property rights provision. B. The ICSID Tribunal, applying the Bilateral Investment Trade Treaty. Then C. The International Court of Justice in diplomatic protection proceedings. And D. Any UNCITRA. Thank you. That's all. Ogechuku. Okay, so please unmute your mic. Okay, what? Just once you hear your name, just pick um, your question.
Question 5.
Question 5. All right, so please listen carefully. Question 5 says, a treaty body receives a communication from an individual claiming violation of his right to self-determination under Article 1 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. The committee declares the communication inadmissible. What is the most accurate legal reason? A. The communication is inadmissible because only states can invoke Article 1 of the ICCPR. Then B. The communication is inadmissible but premature. B. The communication is admissible but premature. Then C. The communication is inadmissible because the optional protocol to ICPCR only confers standing individuals for violation of rights in Part 2 and Part 3 of the ICPCR. And D. The committee lacks jurisdiction over political rights. Your time starts now.
Option A.
That's wrong. All right, so the next person is Olalere Shakira.
Good afternoon. I picked question 7.
Question 7. Yeah, so please listen carefully. Under international humanitarian law, a state conducts aerial bombardment, that's airspace bombardment, in an armed conflict that resulted in mass civilian casualties. Survivors claim violation of their right to life under the ICPCR. The state argue that the international humanitarian law and not the ICPCR applies. What is the correct legal position? A. The state is correct because in armed conflict, the international humanitarian law completely displaces international human rights laws. B. The ICPCR applies only in peacetime and not in war times. C. Only customary international law applies in armed conflict. And D. Both the international humanitarian law and the ICPCR apply concurrently. Your time starts now.
I pick option A.
Option A, that's incorrect. Thank you. All right, so the next person is Moses Alexander. Moses Alexander. Okay, welcome. Choose a question.
Yeah. Okay. Question 7.
That's what Olalere just answered.
Okay. Question 10.
10. Okay. All right. Question 10. Please listen attentively. An Abuja High Court or High Court of the Federal Capital Territory judgment awards a citizen the sum of 5 million naira in damages for unlawful detention by the police. The police argue that Section 308 1999 Constitution grants the Inspector General of Police immunity from civil and criminal proceedings. Is this argument correct? A. Yes, Section 308 grants immunity to all senior government officials, including the IGP. No, Section 308 grants immunity only to the president, vice president, governor, and deputy governor while in office. C. Yes, but only during operational emergency. And D. No, but the Inspector General of Police cannot be personally liable. Only the Federation can be sued. Your time starts now.
I'll go with option B.
Option B, that's correct. So the next person is Okoye Angelica. Okoye, are you there? Are you there, Okoye? Can you hear me? Sorry, if you are muted, I think you are muted because I can't just pick your question.
I'm not muted.
Okay, I can pick your okay. So what
Number 40.
40. All right. Number 40, your question is in Inspector General of Police and All Nigerian People's Party, the court held that A. Police permit is necessary for a rally. B. Police permit is not required for a rally as it infringes on freedom of assembly. C. Rallies are illegal in Nigeria. And D. Police can ban all rallies. Your time starts now.
B.
What do you say?
Option B.
That's correct. So the next person on the list is Philemon John. Philemon John.
Good afternoon, sir. Yeah, I'm here, sir.
Good afternoon. Okay, John, can you turn on your camera? And can you also state the option you would like to answer? or the
All right.
person you like to answer. Yeah.
All right, sir. Question 16.
16.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can.
Okay. So, which case established that the right to fair hearing cannot be denied even in emergency situations? A. Obi and INEC. B. Uzodima and INEC. C. Gaba and University of Maiduguri. D.
Gaba and University of Maiduguri.
All right, correct.
Thank you very much, sir.
Please always listen to the option before you. Um, okay, so the next person is Julius Orelua Omotosho.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Question 30.
Question
30.
30.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let me. Then after this, Amarachi would proceed with the other persons. Okay, so question 30. So question 30 says, State A, that means an hypothetical representation of the country. State A seeks extradition from State B of a person. State A, to extradite. So extradition.
Okay,
So
yes.
State A seeks extradition from State B, that's another country, of a person accused of serious corruption offenses. The person claims he faces a risk of torture and unfair trial in State A. So he invokes the principle of non-refoulement. How far does the principle of non-refoulement extend beyond the refugee context? A. Non-refoulement has evolved beyond the refugee context through Convention Against Torture. B. Non-refoulement applies only to refugees under the 1951 Refugee Convention. C. Extradition treaties override all human rights objections. And then D. Non-refoulement does not apply to persons accused of serious crimes. Your time starts now.
Option
Option
E. E.
That's correct. All right, so at this juncture, I will hand over to Amarachi.
Okay, hello. Thank you. Thank you so much, Joshua.
You're welcome.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. And I want to say a big congratulations to you all for reaching the semi-finals. I think that is a great achievement, and I wish you all the best going forward. Okay, so the next person should be Kanyisola Olalie. Are you here?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Please choose an option.
Question 36.
Question 36.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, question 36. Which case held that the use of an affected. Okay, no, I think that has been asked already. Joshua, right?
36.
Yes,
Um,
I think so.
no, not yet. Not yet. Yes, not yet.
Are you sure?
Okay, the answer that will give another one. I think it has been taken. Yeah.
Okay, please choose another one.
35.
35. Okay. Section 35, sub 7 of the 1999 Constitution, as amended, provides for compensation to a person who has been lawfully arrested or detained. This right is A. Enforceable against the individual officer, B. Enforceable against the state and police authority, C. Not enforceable, and D. Only applicable to civil cases. Your time starts
B.
now. What did you
Option
say?
B. Option B.
B. Okay, that's correct. The next person would be Kamsi Wisdom. Are you here? Kamsi Wisdom. Ononuju. Okay. Kamsi is not here. What about Shulamite Amarachi Obi? Okay, please. Once I call you, just choose a question.
Number 20.
Number 20. Okay. The Borno State, please listen attentively. The Borno State government bans all gathering of more than 10 persons without prior police permit, citing Boko Haram insurgency security concerns. A church congregation of 200 is dispersed and its pastor arrested. What constitutional violation arise? So the Borno State government bans all gatherings of more than 10 persons without prior police permit, citing Boko Haram insurgency security concerns. A church congregation of 200 is dispersed and its pastor arrested. What constitutional violation arise? A. Security concerns provide absolute justification for restriction on gatherings. B. The ban violates freedom of assembly and freedom of religion. C. States can impose any restriction on assembly during security emergencies. And D. A blanket ban is valid if declared by the state government. State governor, your time starts now.
C.
C is what?
State can put restriction when there is security problems.
Okay, that's incorrect. Ogu wisdom. Wisdom Ogu. Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Good
Okay.
afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Please choose a
23.
23. Okay. 23. Toko and versus the governor of Gongola State, 1989. It's a locus classical on which procedural issue? A. The limitation of the jurisdiction of the National Industrial Court to enforce fundamental human rights action. B. The limitation of the jurisdiction of the Federal High Court to enforce fundamental human rights action. C. The local standing of a government agency to institute fundamental human rights action. And D. The right of an aggrieved party to appeal to the Court of Appeal a fundamental human rights case. Your time starts now.
C. Local standard.
Of what?
C. Of federal government to. I didn't get that last part, but it's local standard.
Okay, local standing of a government agency to institute
Yes.
fundamental human rights action. That's incorrect. The next person is okay, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Please choose a number.
Number 35.
35. Good. Someone has taken that already.
Okay.
Yeah,
Number
this one.
25.
25. Okay. A social media influencer in Nigeria is arrested under Section 24 of the Cyber Crimes Act for posting false statements against a government minister that caused annoyance. He challenges the provision as unconstitutional. What is the strongest argument? A. Section 24 of the Cybercrimes Act is valid as cybercrime legislation falls within the legislative competence. B. Online speech enjoys no constitutional protection. C. Criminal defamation provisions are always valid if enacted by the National Assembly. D. Section 24 of the Cybercrimes Act, which criminalizes grossly offensive or false electronic messages concerning employers, is unconstitutionally vague and overboard. Your time starts now.
B.
What did you say?
B.
That's incorrect. Then we have Omitogun. Omitogun, Israel. Lope.
Yes. I mean,
Please
that's
choose
not.
a. Okay, please choose it. Yeah, hi. Please choose a
Question
number.
49.
49. Okay. 49. A community is collectively punished with homes destroyed because a criminal was found hiding in the area. Is this legal? A. Yes, it is allowed for terrorism. B. No, it violates the right to dignity and protection of private property. C. Yes, if it is a traditional punishment. And D. No, it only applies to the person who hid the criminal. Your time starts now.
B.
What is B?
B. No, it's not allowed because it's against right of dignity and personal protection of private property.
Correct, that's correct. Thank you. Okay, I think it comes to wisdom, yeah? Is she on the call? Okay. Have anybody, if you haven't answered any question, you can indicate now. Okay, so we'll go to the round 2 because this is a 2-round question segment. So let's go to the first person, Suleiman Ajita. Are you here? Suleiman. Okay, please choose a number.
Yeah. What numbers are available? 11.
Okay. Okay, 11 is 11. Joshua, 11 is available, right?
Yes, it is. It is. Yes.
Okay,
You see,
11.
you have a number of questions that you have 50 questions and you're 13 on the so you have a why you guys are not just choosing across board 1 to 50. You have a
Okay.
number of questions there. Yeah.
11, thank you. A group of please listen very well, Ajita. A group of Nigerian women argue because ECOWAS court. Okay, sorry. A group of Nigerian women argue before the ECOWAS court that the government's failure to enact legislation on domestic violence, despite repeated recommendation from the CIDWA committee, constitutes a violation of their right. The government argues that the CIDA is not directly applicable in Nigerian court due to the dualist system. What is the most accurate legal analysis? A. The dualist argument is correct. This is because CIDA has no force in Nigeria without enabling legislation. B. CIDA has no enforcement mechanism. C. The ECOWAS court cannot order Nigeria to legislate. And D. While Nigeria's dualist constitutional framework requires treaties to be enacted into domestic law before they have direct domestic force, this does not exempt Nigeria from international responsibility. The time starts now.
D.
What did you say?
D.
D?
Yeah, I
That's
said
correct.
D. D. The last
B?
D. D. The last one.
Okay, that's correct. Thank you. Okay, Favor Ogechukwu.
Hi, question 35.
35. I think someone has. Let's check.
Take him. Pick another.
Yes, take him. Please pick another.
45.
45. Okay. 45. A state introduces a mandatory DNA testing program for all persons accused of sexual offences to be conducted without their consent, I don't understand, and used as evidence against them. The accused challenge this program. A. Mandatory DNA testing in criminal investigation raises no human rights concerns. Mandatory DNA testing during criminal investigation violates right to dignity and under constitutional rights. Criminal investigation techniques are never subject to constitutional challenge. DNA evidence is always admissible regardless of how it was obtained. Your time start now.
B. Mandatory DNA testing is against human dignity or something.
Correct. Thank you.
You should give them the option. B.
Okay, Shakira
B.
Adeduto.
So do you know?
I'm so sorry. Shakira, are you here?
Where is it? Even a very hard.
Shakira Olalere.
She's not there.
Okay.
No, she not qualified. She qualified. She will
Moses
use-
Alexander.
She will need the first question. She will just complete.
Okay,
All the-
21.
She must be-
Okay,
How you call her?
21.
How you call her?
Okay.
How you call her? You said. No.
Which case strengthens the principle of local standing
She go see the
or
issue for funds
standard
for life.
in public interest litigation regarding environmental rights? A. NNPC and versus the Center for Oil Pollution Watch. B. Fawe Weto. A. Fahimi and Abacha. C. FRN, Federal Republic of Nigeria and CRAP. D. Shell BP and Environmental Protection Agency. Your time start now.
I'll go with option A.
Okay. NNPC and Center for Oil Pollution Watch. That's correct.
This guy,
Okoye and Angelica. Are you here? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please choose a number. 27. Okay. Total Exploration and Production Nigeria Limited versus Oku and others 2024 Supreme Court ruling settled what? A. The long confusing debate on the limitation period for the enforcement of fundamental rights. B. The long confusing debate on joint application for enforcement of fundamental rights. C. The long confusing debate on the local standard of non-governmental organization in human rights cases. And D. The long confusing debate on the non-justiciability of the right to environment. Your time starts now.
Option B.
Correct. The next person is John Philemon. Are you here? John Philemon, are you here? John Philemon. Okay, then the next is Julius Oreoluwa Omotosho. Are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, please choose a number quickly. There's no time. 32. Okay. Which of the following is not an exception to the right to personal liberty? Philemon, you will go after him. Which of the following is not an exception to the right to personal liberty? A. Lawful detention for contempt of court. B. Detention for the purpose of bringing a person before a court. C. Detention for the purpose of extracting What happened? John, I said you would go after Julius. So which of the following is not an exception to the right to personal liberty? A. Lawful detention for contempt of court. B. Detention for the purpose of bringing a person before a court. C. Detention for the purpose of extracting conventional statement. And D. Lawful detention of persons suffering from infectious diseases. Confessional.
Option C.
Okay, correct. Okay. Philemon, John. Are you here? Philemon John, you came out. I thought you were okay. Um, Olali, Tanyi Sola. Are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please choose
Question 28.
28. Which case established that the Nigeria police force cannot require a permit for citizens to